Tuesday. It's about free SHS. And we have opened the line of communication from the people back to the system for them to give feedback. And today the system is here to respond. And we've heard from Dr. Abekatando, who tells us that today he has brought his lesson notes. So we're going to learn everything that we possibly can about your concerns that you've been raising with free SHS. First, though, we've had the BBC News, thanks to Fidelity Bank, believe with us, and our way of life has changed. But Fidelity Bank is continuing to offer world-class digital banking solutions to make your life easy. If you need an account, you can open one online at fidelitybank.com.gh. If you want access to your bank account at your fingertips to check your balance, make payments, top up airtime, pay bills, and all of that business, then try the Fidelity mobile app. Or be like Kiddy and let Kukua, Fidelity's 24/7 WhatsApp banking assistant, fill you with enjoyment when she helps you with your banking transactions anytime and anywhere. There's also Fidelity Online Banking, Fidelity GHQR payments, Fidelity debit and prepaid cards, and so much more. Say hi to Kukua on 0544 315500 or go to the Apple Store or the Google Play Store to download the Fidelity mobile app today. Make it happen with Fidelity Bank, because together we're more. Call 3355 or go to fidelitybank.com.gh for additional information. Remember to stay safe and to follow the COVID-19 protocols. Fidelity Bank, believe with us.
Are you looking for a place to relax with your family, friends, or even a place you can call home? And look no further than Accra Fine Suites, located at the spectacular Pearl Inn City Development, cantonments opposite the Free Zones Authority. We bring you an all-inclusive home away from home experience with hotel-like amenities like swimming pool, rooftop tennis court, gym, and restaurant. For your daily, weekly, monthly stay with us, kindly contact Accra Fine Suites on 0596 994943. So that's the number, 0596 994943. For your studio 1, 2, 3 bedroom apartments, and enjoy a 15% discount on your bookings from now till 10th June. Accra Fine Suites, a home away from home.
Okay, so let's very quickly get the nutrition line out of the way so that we can settle back into our conversation. A nutrition line always is brought to us by our friends at Nestle, and they offer good food for a good life.
And the little bluebird flew into the beautiful blue sky and soared high above the clouds. Yes, blue. You put more into your baby's development than you think, and now you can put more into meal times. Discover new Cerelac with Iron Plus, which supports smart development. Nestle Cerelac, big nutrition for small tummies.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
This is Nestle Nutrition Line. Nestle Nutrition Line is a public service program from Nestle Ghana Limited. Nestle Nutrition Line offers tips on good food for a good life. Now to your presenter.
Hello, hello. Impossible to resist as always. Delicious, nutritious. It's Nestle Nutrition Line. I trust that all is well with you. I'm Jackie Ankra, also known as Na Ajilisoa. I hope you're well and strong and not too busy making money that you've forgotten to spend some of it on yourself. Today we're beginning a discussion on helping your child or adolescent develop healthy eating habits. A healthy eating habit needs to start from childhood, so it becomes ingrained as a habit by the time the child is an adult. One of the best ways of instilling healthy eating habits in children is to have family meals. This is because children pick up most habits from their close family. When the family sits down to eat healthy meals together, the children also pick up the habit and are more likely to eat healthy meals, fruits and vegetables, because they see it happening. The conversations and social interactions that happen at family meals also helps the child develop conversational skills. With busy work and school schedules, you can aim to eat supper together as a family or eat together on weekends. You know what they say, the family that eats together stays together. 0302-517-020, toll free 0800 12 This number is free to Vodafone, MTN and Airtel Tigo callers. You can also email consumerservices@gh.nestle.com. While we're eating well, let's also observe the following precautionary measures to stay healthy at all times. Wash your hands regularly with soap under running water. Avoid handshakes, touching or hugging. Wear your face mask to cover your nose and mouth. Observe social distancing by keeping at least 2 meters between you and others. Cough in your elbow or on a tissue paper and dispose of the tissue immediately. Don't forget to wash your hands with soap under running water. Follow the Ghana Health Service COVID-19 website for additional information and updates. Now go out and do something incredibly, remarkably unique with your life. Shine for all the world to see. Have a great day. Bye.
And the little bluebird flew into the beautiful blue sky and soared high above the clouds. Yes, blue. You put more into your baby's development than you think, and now you can put more into mealtimes. Discover new Cerelac with Iron Plus, which supports smart development. Nestle Cerelac, big nutrition for small tummies.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Coffee in your cup and Joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
You're welcome back. It's the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. And thank you all for your messages that have been coming through. Social media messages on the Super Morning Show are brought to you by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. And today we have the GES with us in the studio. So before we read your messages, we can actually let them have a look and see that indeed these are authentic messages coming in for them. Chronic malnutrition is one of the less known diseases that affect children worldwide. Currently, the disease affects over 144 million, or 21% of children globally. In Africa, 1 in every 3 children is affected by chronic malnutrition. The disease weakens the immune system of children and reduces their brain development, thereby impacting them negatively, academically, and also in their adult lives. EcoBank is therefore working with Unit Life, the new UN initiative dedicated to fighting chronic malnutrition. And they want to raise awareness about chronic malnutrition. They want to initiate global citizen solidarity, and they want to raise funds to support the fight. EcoBank and Unit Life have launched the Make the Connection campaign. They're going to raise funds to support children with chronic malnutrition conditions. So why don't you make your donation today, preferably on EcoBank Mobile or by scanning a dedicated QR code, which is in every branch of EcoBank. Call EcoBank Contact Center. They're open 24/7 on a toll-free number 0800 00 3225. Call them for guidance. EcoBank cares. So remember to stay safe by observing all the necessary COVID-19 protocols. EcoBank is the Pan-African Bank. Right, let's get to it. Our guest this morning is the Deputy Director General of the Ghana Education Service. We're very happy he's here with us, Dr. Kwabena Bempatando. He's actually Deputy Director General for Quality and Access at the Ghana Education Service. All right, so stay tuned. We're going to go through all the issues that you've been raising. We're going to hear Dr. Bempatando's responses to them. And I think it's good for us to start with the parents, don't you?
I think so. There were 5 issues raised by parents. It would have been nice if we were starting school that the bell would have rung.
The bell is normally used assessing the performance of ministers. So
Yes.
whenever we bring the bell here. As an
We are
indication
coming to assess ministers.
He's fetching for
it's
the
an
bell.
indication that we're coming to
So
assess
what we'll try
performance,
to do is, as we go through the lesson, when we need to take breaks, of course, the bell will allow let us to take breaks. And
Producer 1.
So let's get to it. I think that Listen, while I was clear that these are messages that have come through phone calls and text messages, I think that it should never be lost on us that these are issues and real issues that have plagued us and continue to plague us. And so, it would have been nice for us, especially for the teachers and head teachers. It would have been nice for us to be able to authenticate so that we can address those issues for those particular schools. But nonetheless, there are issues that we must address. So I would, and I think you're right. Let's let's begin with the parents. For those that are watching on Facebook, you see that the bell has been brought, and the bell boy is Winston. So I think we need to also add some humor in this, and so let's begin. The first major concern was that parents are worried that their children are spending more time at home than in school. Yeah. And so we want to be able to address that. To help us do that, what we have done, and I have brought copies for you to see, is that we have taken the old trimester calendar from 2015-2016, and then the new semester calendar when it was first introduced in 2018-2019, just so we can do some comparative analysis of the facts and evidence to see if students are really spending more time at home and what it means. So let's begin with the old trimester calendar. 2015-2016, in a real academic calendar, the first term began on 14th September 2015. And it went through 18th December 2015. In effect, that's 3 months. Because if you take 14th September to 14th October, 14th November, and 14th December, that's 3 months. Yeah. So the first term was 3 months. We all agree. The students went on break. Second term began on the 11th of January 2016 and ended on the 23rd of March 2016. Let's count. 11th of January to 11th of February is 1 month. 11th of March is 2 months. Then from 11th of March to the 23rd of March is 12 days. Let's just say 2 weeks. So the second term, in effect, was 2 months and 2 weeks. Yeah. Third term, after all the Easter festivities, began on the 25th of April 2016. And it ended on the 29th of July 2016. That is, in effect, 3 months. 25th of April to the 25th of May is 1 month. 25th of June is 2 months. 25th of July is the third month, and then you have 4 more days ahead. So effectively, that's 3 months. If you take your first term, 3 months, your second term, 2 months, 2 weeks, your third term, 3 months, that gives you 8 months and 2 weeks. So in effect, children were home for 3 months and 2 weeks in a 12-month cycle for the old trimester calendar. I hope we're clear. Now, in the old trimester calendar, CRDD, which then turned to NACA, had what you call the curriculum guidelines, and we were teaching for 6 hours a day. If you added lunch and everything, children were in school for about 7 hours. But we were teaching for 6 hours a day, 8 to 12, and then usually 1 to 3. 6 hours a day. Now, if you take those 6 hours a day and you look at our 8 months and 2 weeks, children were in school effectively, in terms of academic days, 180 days. Those 180 days for 1 year meant that if they were being taught for 6 hours a day, the contact hours a teacher had with the student for effective teaching and learning in the old trimester system was 1,080 hours.
1,080 contact hours throughout the year.
Because you take your 180 days and you multiply by 6. We have calculators. Oh, but I see people doing long division and manual work. But 180 days times your 6 hours is 1,080 hours. Now, over a 3-year cycle, if the child is to go to school for 3 years in the free SHS period, that then translates to 3,240 contact hours before they are to sit for their exam. I hope that's clear. Yeah. Now, let's look at this. Before 2017, let's cast our mind back to how school placements was being done. because I want to let you situate something. We all remember, and my own nephew started school in 2013. His name is Osei. He didn't go into school until November of that first year. We all remember. People used to pile up at the placement center. And the first years didn't go to school usually till November. So when schools began in September, the first years were not in school. So that 2 months period when they were rushing through the placement system before they went to school, they had lost 2 months of contact hours. Let's remember that. Then they used to begin their WASI in February, which means when the student gets to their third year, they have lost third term altogether. So in effect, the first 8 weeks, when they were not in school, translates to 240 contact hours. The 16 weeks of the third term plus, because exams began in February, it translates to 480 contact hours. If you add those two, it's 720 hours. Now, for calculation purposes, take your 3,240 and subtract your 720. And in effect, in the trimester system that we all went to school in, a 3-year cycle, the child had 2,520 contact hours before they sat for their WASI. That's analysis. Now, 2018, double track was introduced. We transitioned to a semester system. I know this because I was one of the chief technical officers who designed the double track and who worked on all of the analysis looking at everything. So in 2018, first semester for students began on the 8th of September 2018 and it ended on the 22nd of December 2018. First semester, 8th of September 2018, ended on the 22nd of December 2018. That is in effect 3 months and 2 weeks. 8th September to 8th October to 8th November, 8th December. Then from 8th December to the 22nd of December, that's 2 more weeks. So first semester for the 2018, the calendar was 3 months, 2 weeks. Second semester didn't begin in January. It began almost at the end of February because we were running a double track system. Second semester began for students on the 22nd of February 2019 and ended on the 5th of July 2019. 22nd of February to the 22nd of March is 1 month. 22nd of April is another month. 22nd of May is the 3rd month. 22nd of June is the 4th month. 22nd of June to the 5th of July is 2 more weeks. So the second semester was 4 months and 2 weeks. So in the double track semester system, the students are in school for 8 months. In the trimester system, they were in school for 8 months and 2 weeks. We have established those facts based on public records and evidence of timetables and academic calendars. Now, when we were introducing the double track, we also sat down with NACA, which is the Authority on Curriculum Delivery, Design and the application of curriculum. And we knew that in senior high school, you could increase the contact hours per day to 7 hours a day. So we increased the contact hours to 7 hours per day instead of 6 hours in our old semester. Now, 8 months, it calculated to 162 days of teaching instead of 180. Now multiply your 162 days by your 7 hours a day, and already, even though we have reduced by an insignificant 2 weeks of time, we had increased our contact hours from 1,080 in the old system to 1,134 per academic year for any student using the semester and the double track system. Contact hours is what we all need to be thinking about. Now, over a 3-year period, you take your 1,134 and you multiply it by 3 years, and you will get 3,402. So even if you look at the fact that, and I'm going to subtract exams period, even if you look at the fact that we are not subtracting exams period, the new semester system gives a child over that period close to 258 actually, 258 more contact hours in the new system. Now, let's be fair. Now, WASIs begin in April instead of February. So we have gained 2 months there. And we can all attest to the fact that students from 2018, 2019 until COVID, first year students go to school with continuing students. So at the beginning of the academic year, they don't lose any time. Then WASI is beginning in April, which means they will lose about 8 weeks. Because if their semester was to go all the way till July, they will lose about 8 weeks. 8 weeks translates to 240 hours, because 8 weeks is actually 40, and then 8 weeks, sorry, translates to 240 hours.
Okay.
Yes. So if you subtract those 8 weeks, if you subtract those 8 weeks, the 280 hours, sorry, not 240. If you subtract those 280 hours from our established 3,402, then in effect, in the new semester we are actually operating, and the new double track we are actually operating, students in a 3-year cycle will have 3,122 hours of contact before exams. The old system, students were having 2,520. That is another additional, almost a whole semester that we have added because of the ingenuity in how we have operated the calendar. So I think it's, so if you really look at the whole thing, 8 months, 2 weeks. Now let the children do 8 months so that we are able to accommodate 1/3 more. When double track was coming in, we were in this country when, if we had not implemented double track, 181,993 children wouldn't have gotten seats in senior high school. Let's make that sink. 181,993 children would have been left with no spaces in public senior high schools in this country. We would have denied them the opportunity to sit in front of teachers for another 3 years. So I think we need to let that sink on us. So, our dear parents, what may be happening in our minds is that because of double track, there is a perception that at any given period in a 12-month cycle, a group of students are home. But it's not always the same group of students that are home. It is just a track of students who have done their period of time allocated to them who are home. In the old system, it was a lot more normal for us, even including myself. It was a lot more normal for us because we knew that all the children were coming on break on December 22nd. And we knew all of them were going back. And so for parents in the old system, they have come on break. Oh, mama, come. But now, all we are doing is that we have created multiple schools. If you want to think about it, we have created multiple schools that are running their independent calendars. It's basically like I have a building in Dome. I'm using it for a junior high school. And the junior high school ends at 3. Then I turn my building into a night school for adult learners from 5 to 8. I have given my building an effective use, but I'm running 2 schools. The adults who are in school from 5 to 8 are not going to worry themselves with the junior high school children who are from 8 to 3. They have their calendar. They are dealing with their calendar. My calendar says I am in school from 5 to 8. I appreciate it as a parent that it may be, the perception is that at any given point, there is usually a group of students at home. So there may be the perception that they are at home for long periods of time. But the evidence of the data that is available for all of us to know shows that the old system, it was 8 months, 2 weeks. And in the semester system, it's 8 months.
So to be fair to the parents who we heard from on this show, most of them were only concerned about their own children.
Yes, which is very fair.
So, I mean, I don't know how fair it is to suggest that perhaps it's because they're always seeing kids at home, so they think kids are home for longer. I think it's about how long their own kids are in their own homes. And their concern was that this then had an effect on their finances, because depending on how long that home period ends up being, they then have to pay for extra classes to keep their kids sharp until whichever time they're going back. So unlike in the past with the old system where you kind of know the duration of your holidays and you don't really need to put your kids through extra classes every single day of those holidays, and you can get them refreshed if you want to get them refreshed a couple of weeks before they go back to school. This time around, there's this uncertainty around the calendar, and they have to spend a lot more money to keep their kids sharp all the way through until reopening. That was, I think, the effect of the calendar that they
and
were
it's actually
concerned
one
about.
of your questions. So
Very
I
good.
intend
Yes,
to address
good.
it.
Exactly. But also, so you've talked about 2018 when the semester system began.
Yes.
I want us to look at the current semester system. And I am looking at the 2021 academic calendar as released by the Ghana Education Service.
Yes, in a letter signed by me.
Yes, in a letter signed by you. So I look at, schools running double track for SHS 1 and 2.
Yes.
Now, the green track goes to school from the 18th of March
Yes.
to the 15th of June. All right? Then they have vacation from 16th June to 31st August. But what I see here is a resumption from the 15th of September.
Yes, that's actually a typo. It's supposed to be the 1st of September.
Well, okay, so 1st of September to 28th January.
Yes.
And that's the end of the academic year.
Yes.
If we look at the gold track, it says here 18th March to 31st July.
Yes.
But in between there's a break.
Yes.
4th May to 18th June.
Yes.
And then they start on the 1st of August to the 28th of January.
Yes. And
Now,
there's a break in there.
There's a break in. Okay, there'll be a break in that period too.
Yes, please.
So, okay, so from the
So-
15th, okay, hold on a minute. So, from the 15th of September,
September to the
30th of October,
yes.
there'll be a break. Now,
Yes.
let's calculate that period.
Yes,
also.
we can calculate
Yes,
that.
let's look at that also.
Yeah,
and
let's-
compare that to when it began.
Yes, we can
Yes,
calculate
so
that.
let's look at it. So,
Yes.
we're looking at August, 1st August to 15th September.
That's 1.5 months.
That's 1.5 months.
Yes.
Then you look at 30th October to 28th January.
That's 3 months.
That's 3 months.
Yes.
So then we look at 18th March to 4th May. Okay, so 18th March to 4th May is 1.5
1.5
months.
months.
Then we're looking at 18th June to 31st July. That is also 1.5 months. So let's look at, so this is 3 months here, and then you are looking at 3 months.
7.5 months
7.5.
altogether.
7.5 months
Yes.
in total. So that's also short of the 8 months that it was originally when it started. And these are some of the concerns that the parents have raised. The fact that when it started, the certainty of it, at least we knew there was time. Currently, it is not as it was when it started.
So essentially this year,
Let-
the kids
let
will be
me-
home for 4 months and 2 weeks.
Let me help you to understand something. We have also had a situation where, in effect, schools were closed for almost 1 year. And so we all know, not just Ghana, but across the world, that we had a disruption to everything. Even for media, you guys had to stop bringing guests into your studios.
Yeah.
You had to work more on doing Zooms. And I see that I did, the first time I came to this new studio, I was very impressed because of the technological nature in which the studio is set up to be. So we know that we need to make up time. We have lost 16th of March to the first week of January, especially those who are in Form 2, which is one of the questions that I'll address. They were home at the time as Form 1s. So we need to understand that we also have some exigencies that we are dealing with in terms of COVID. And we are recovering. I am one of the fortunate people who have gone to stand in line, and I have taken both of my shots. But we are recovering. And so what we are doing, and we have been very clear in Ghana Education Service, that we are in a recovery mode. If you look at all of our communication, we have said that we are doing recovery learning, we are trying to recover. And so you would see that there's been a lot that we have planned over the next 3 years for those students to catch up. because we need to make sure we leave more room for the Form 3s who will be writing their WASI in September. So these are plans that we have put in place over the next 3 years to bring us back to normalcy. We will not shy away from the fact that the academic calendar is being worked in such a way that the students who will be impacted the most, those are the students preparing for exams, are given the opportunity to actually have that. So I do appreciate those analyses. The second question that parents raised is the issue of the fact that they have a child in SHS 2.
Yes.
Who have only taken one end of term exam. I appreciate that. I think it's a concern that your child is now in SHS 2 and they've only taken one exam. But if I may help all of us to understand, those students who are currently in SHS 2 began school in September 2019. Their first exam that the parent is saying they took happened in December of 2019 when they completed their first semester. Now, when they came back for their second semester, the semester didn't fully complete when there was an emergency to shut down all schools in March of 2020. So those students who were then in SHS1 couldn't possibly have taken a second exam. Those students only came back to school January 18 of 2021. So it is at the end of this first semester they are completing that they will take their second exam. So I beg that it's because we had almost 1 year where this group of students, the current SHS2s, they only had one semester before closure came. So even if you would look at the same calendar you were just reading to me, you would see that they are the group we have given the longest period of time in school, because we know that in this COVID period, they were the ones who were impacted the most. So our planning considered all of that. It was a committee that was chaired by Professor Dominic Fobi, a renowned educationist and a former Minister for Education. So we did look at all of this, and that is why those particular students who are currently in SHS2, we've paid more attention to in terms of the academic calendar to make sure they can recover lost time.
Right. This is the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Our guest this morning, Dr. Kwabena Bempatano, is the Deputy Director General for Quality and Access at the GES. We're talking about free SHS. He's fielding all of your feedback and responding to the issues. When we come back, we'll learn more after these.
Hello.
Yo, what's up?
Charlie, bro, I need your help bad.
Oh, no. What is it?
Some question, oh.
Talk to me.
Musa was given 9 Ghana cedis, Kwame was given 36 Ghana cedis, and Pokwa was given 27 Ghana cedis. Based on this information, how much money would be given to the land?
Chairman, I beg Puche, cause this one here is a long equation.
Catch up with family and friends like never before. Just pay for only the first minute of your call and pay absolutely nothing for the rest of your call. And you get 50 megabytes a day just for your first call. Dial *550# to subscribe to MTN free after 1 today, because we're good together everywhere you go. Terms and conditions apply.
There's the Hey, my guy. The action is still in the midfield. So, what are you celebrating? Just watch closely. I'm about to score another goal.
Score as many goals as you can in the Standard Chartered Virtual League, where every transaction earns you points to stay ahead in the game. For our new customers, download the SC mobile app, open an account with just 200 Ghana cedis and play in the league.
That's 20 points already in the bag.
For existing customers, keep transacting business on your SC mobile app to score points. Transact more business on your SC mobile today and win lots of LFC goodies, including water bottles, notebooks, signed jerseys, a virtual meet and greet with a Liverpool FC legend, and the ultimate all expenses paid trip for 2 to Anfield to watch Liverpool play.
It's a goal!
Terms and conditions apply. Standard Chartered, here for good.
Mommy, don't forget my yummy. Yummy. Everybody loves yummy, mommy and daddy too. Yummy. Yummy with wit is a nice meal. Pineapple, strawberry, and vanilla flavor. Yummy over here, yummy over there. Yummy everywhere. Yummy in the morning, yummy in so refreshing and healthy.
Yummy, 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 yummy.
Everybody loves yummy, you and you and you.
Yummy, 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 yummy.
Yummy. Always different, truly different.
As we continue to fight COVID-19 together, EcoBank offers you several ways to stay home, stay safe, and take control of your finances. Use EcoBank Mobile whenever, wherever, with or without an EcoBank account to send money through SMS and email. Also buy airtime, pay bills, and much more from the comfort of your home. For high-value transactions, use our internet banking services. EcoBank QR code enables you to make cashless digital payments when paying for goods and services. Download the EcoBank Mobile today from the Google Play Store, App Store, or from our Facebook page. Additionally, dial the short code *770# from any phone and start transacting. EcoBank cares. Remember to observe social distancing, wash your hands frequently, and don't touch your face.
For further assistance, kindly call EcoBank Contact Center on 0800 00 3225 anytime, any day, toll free, or on 0302 213 999.
Stay home, stay safe. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Let's plant 5 million trees today.
Fellow Ghanaians, it's time to arise and build a better and sustainable Ghana for future generations. Plant a tree today and save the environment. Join the nationwide tree planting exercise and let's go planting 5 million trees on June 11th this year. Yes, we are planting 5 million trees in one day. Grab a seedling from your Forestry Commission District Office or District Assembly Office today. It's my mandate. It's your mandate. It's our mandate to protect our environment. Be a citizen, not a spectator. Green Ghana, let's go planting. This campaign is proudly brought to you by the Government of Ghana, Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and Forestry Commission.
Let's plant 5 million trees today for the next generation.
55, 78, 58, 70. Hey, Charlie. My network is really killing me. I have to pay my uncle's workers via mobile money, but the charges alone, it's about 380 cedis.
Charges alone just to send money? That's 10 bucks of cement already, my guy. Listen, bro, you can save money on charges if you move to Vodafone Cash now.
Vodafone Cash? But my network is...
Hey, sending money on that your network, you pay. Sending money on your network to other networks, you pay. But guess what? Sending money on Vodafone Cash is free. Sending money on Vodafone Cash to all other networks is also absolutely free. No charges at all on Vodafone Cash. So tell me, what are you still doing on that your network? Massa, look sharp, then move to Vodafone Cash.
Hey, make a change the SIM right now.
Yeah, sending money on Vodafone Cash to all other networks is now absolutely free. Send unlimited amounts of money as many times as you like for free. Just dial *110# now to send money.
Comfort, durability, finishing, quality. Choosing sofas and beds for your home, office, or hotel couldn't be easier with an exclusive range of sofas and beds in various designs and colors from latex foam. There is so much choice, whatever your budget. Latex foam, your partner for life.
Get digi with it. *924#. Get digi with it. *924#. On your mark, ready, set, let's go. CBG Mobile USSD Young Code. *924#. Funko the go. Smartphone no, young phone no. Ever fire money transfer. For your water bill, for your light bill. Factor credit. *924#. You deserve it. Let's go. Get digi with it. *924#. Get digi with it. *924#.
CBG is empowering you to get digi with CBG Mobile. Simply dial *924# and get digi with it.
CBG, we stand with you.
This song goes out to all the junior high and senior high students of this country. Yeah, I know you love me and I love you too.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
If I go back to JSS, I would have taken my lessons very serious. Instead of sitting at the back and acting hilarious with my best friend Kojo, aka Aquarius. If I go back to school,
Charlie, like I no go break any rule.
You're welcome back. It's the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. And today, on the fourth day of our conversations about free SHS, we have the Ghana Education Service here. And they are fielding all of the questions and concerns that have been raised throughout this conversation. We'll be hearing more from Dr. Abeka Tando, who is the Deputy Director of the service. But first, thanks to Vodafone, Together We Can, and Latex Film, your partner for life, for bringing us big stories this morning.
Well, if you're looking for a one-seater, two-seaters, or maybe three-seaters, or let's say L-shaped sofa, which is crafted to the finest details and available in various colors for your home, office, or hotels, if you're looking for comfortability, durability, quality, and that perfect finishing, then look no further, because Latest Film is your one-stop shop destination, whatever your choice and budget. Latest Film is your partner for life.
Now, Vodafone is greeting us again. They say good morning, Ghana.
We take
now you can have an even greater morning with the Vodafone Good Morning offer. The Good Morning Bundle gives you unlimited calls to Vodafone numbers, 5 minutes of talk time to other networks, and 500 megabytes of data. This bundle works with any other bundle you have or will subscribe to. Just call the short code 543 or dial star 543 hash to subscribe to the Vodafone Good Morning offer for only one Ghana city. Terms and conditions apply. Vodafone, together we can.
I'm sure it's not time for us to get into the sports center. Normally,
we would have got into the sports center usually at this time, thanks to MTN, or as we like to say it, MTN. Choose your own bundle your own way with MTN Flexi Bundle. Just dial star 138 hash and enjoy bundles that don't expire. It's also brought to you by Standard Chartered Bank, here for good. And Yummy Yogurt, always different, truly different.
And your car deserves the best treatment, so we're introducing the latest addition to the Total Quartz engine oil family, the Quartz 9000 Future 0W20, the specially conditioned and developed for the latest generation engines. The Total Quartz 9000 Future 0W20 delivers excellent engine protection and cleanliness. It increases your oil change interval while reducing your fuel consumption. So for optimum performance and efficiency of your car, visit your nearest Total service station and ensure your car is well protected. Join the Total Quartz Nation movement now. Total Quartz, keep your engine younger
for longer. Now, when you lose data, you lose business, because these days, data is the backbone of your business, and you have to keep it safe. So the resilient and highly connected MTN data centers will now allow you easily to store and access all the essential data that your business churns out every day. With MTN data centers, you don't have to worry about data storage anymore. There's a team of expert staff available and, of course, backup power on hand, which means that you can access your data no matter what happens. Your business can't go a day without data. Call 0244 308 111 and talk to one of their relationship managers, or just send an email to mtnbusiness.gh@mtn.com. or just go to mtn.com.gh/business today. MTN, everywhere you go.
So, bank more and score more. Welcome to the Standard Chartered Virtual League, and the more you transact, the more points you score. Download the SC Mobile Ghana app, open an account, fund with 200 Ghana cedis, then you get to win 20 points. Continue to transact and win more points in the Standard Chartered Virtual League. If you're already a customer, all you have to do is to transact, then you get to win more points. Customers will be allocated points and awarded with access to Liverpool Football Club goodies based on how they're doing on the league table. Request a credit card, you get to win 20 points. Buy an investment product with SC Mobile, you win 50 points. Now, there are points to be won for other transactions, and your points will give you access to Liverpool Football Club water bottles, notebooks, signed jerseys, a virtual meet and greet with the Liverpool Football Club legend, and the ultimate prize of an all-expense-paid trip for two to Anfield to watch Liverpool Football Club play. Visit sc.com/gh/bank more for the weekly leaderboard and tips on the transaction to more points. Bank more, score more in the Standard Chartered Virtual League. Terms and conditions apply. Standard Chartered Bank, here
for good. All right, so we can get straight back into our conversation. And
so the bell says that
the bell has been rung.
Yes, it says that it's time for us to get into the conversation.
The teacher has become the bellboy himself on that occasion.
I have,
yes.
I have fired my bellboy.
the bellboy did not show up in school today.
This section will be very quick because we want to be able to give people opportunity to discuss. So the next set of issues that were raised don't require deep and long analysis. The third one was that due to the long time spent at home, parents are usually paying for extra classes. I think Kojo had raised that issue, which is costing them more than they would have paid if there was no free SHS. If there was no free SHS, we'll be paying fees before we'll pay for extra classes. Right. But I just want to say that the discussion we have just had, the long discussion we have just had, is also evident of the fact that really, in the semester system, they are only home 2 weeks more than, it's just that they are home 2 long periods, but they are home 2 weeks more than we were in the trimester system. But I want to quickly add this. In 2018, when we were introducing the double track and the semester system, the government also introduced what we call academic intervention, which means in school, if we all remember, we all went to very good schools. I was just trying to ascertain from you, and you guys went to champion schools, Mauli, Augustine's, and I went to the only King's College in Ghana, which is Prempeh College. Our college was started by Kings, so but in those schools, even in those schools, we'd realize before, or at least when we were in school, that teachers were still doing extra classes, but it was only for the preserves of those who could afford to pay. So government decided in 2018 that we will provide academic intervention to the tune of 55 million cedis to teachers so that they can support all students with academic intervention. And this is what we have done. 2019, we sent our first 55 million Ghana cedis to teachers. We even saw the things on social media, of course.
For what kind of academic intervention?
For academic intervention outside of the classroom. And in this academic intervention, it wasn't wholesale. Schools were making assessments on a school-by-school basis. We cannot sit in Accra and ascertain what is happening in my hometown of Goso, and I have mine senior high school. So the headmasters will work with their teachers and identify students who need more support in mathematics, students who need more support in science and co. Then they will put together an academic intervention strategy where all teachers are able to support these students at different learning levels. We have introduced what we call differentiated learning, and it is being practiced in our senior high schools. But it is the managers of the school, the headmasters, who plan that. Then we send money to all of the schools. 2019 we sent. 2018 we sent. 2019 we sent. So we have sent to the tune of 110 million cedis, so that all schools and all students, regardless of your parents' financial ability, you are able to receive additional academic intervention. These are all what we call leading indicators, the things we put in an effort to make sure we get some of our lagging indicators, which is usually evident by the results or the way students perform on standardized exams, such as ones that are organized by West Africa Examination Council. But what I would say is that it is not always, especially in the new dispensation that we are in, it's not necessarily always about extra classes. We need children to have skill sets in robotics. We need children to have skill sets in social discourse. We need students to understand how to deal on the streets and things like that. So I would even beg of parents that, eventually we will get to a point where our children would not solely be measured by that exam that they take after 3 years. We've introduced a curriculum that we are moving towards. But apart from extra classes, we can support our children in other areas. But when I was a child, my parents paid extra classes, and I went to at that time we were paying school fees, and my parents paid extra classes. I can understand the pain of parents in terms of additional financial resources. I would not discredit that at all, because. But it is something that we as parents we all do to support our children. But I would also ask that there may be other ways where students can even support each other when they are home. If you are fortunate enough to have older siblings at home, they can support and such. But it is a point well taken that they do spend money on extra classes. But I would also say that at least we don't have to pay school fees in free SHS period. We don't have to pay school fees. I will say this. The next issue had to do with the poor quality of food in schools. You know, they were compelled to spend a lot more money on buying provisions for their children in terms of the poor quality. Here, what I would say is that we have the national food menu when the free SHS was started was put together by, and this is the fifth one, right? The national food menu, the fourth one, sorry. The national food menu was put together by the Association of School Matrons, CHAS, which is the conference that is responsible for heads of schools, Buffer Stock Company, Ministry of Education, the Ghana Education Service, and the Free SHS Secretariat. We came up with a national school menu. We all know, and if we will all remember, as matter of public record, in the 2018 and 2019 years, we actually had the opposite complaints, where the complaints was that there was too much food. Children are coming home too big. There was too much food, to the point that even in 2020 March, when schools closed, the Ghana Education Service had to donate let me not say tens of thousands, but I'll say thousands of tons of food to Ghana prisons because we had so much food in our schools that we were using to feed children. So I would like to understand a bit of the benchmark for where...
I mean, when talking about when Free SHS started, and headmasters, the teachers, and the students, not the students, have not denied this.
Yes.
When it started, it was better. Currently, it's bad. What was the case previously has been acknowledged, but the point they're making now is that the situation is become bad.
And that's what I was trying to land at, as to what is our measure for what poor food quality is. All of us ate gashet in school. All of us ate in my school at Prempeh College, and where my wife went to school, Konongo Dumase. Demonstrations happened in the times when we were paying school fees, overfeeding. You know, I am not saying that children should be given bad food, or even adults should be given bad food. But what is our measure of what bad food is, right? All I'm saying is that we have, and we have always provided, but this year, we all know the laws of this country. When there is a transition, whether it is the same government or not, the government cannot budget because you have to wait for the eventuality that there is a different government to come and budget for that year. And so we all know that at least until the end of March, you and I were all in this country when we were trying to wait for Parliament to pass a budget.
Well, but the challenge with that is so this is how it works. And it's the only reason in November 2020, the finance minister went to Parliament
and they only
for a first quarter.
Yes.
And that first quarter, and government accounting is such that when it comes to our finances, they make sure they always meet it up. See, the first quarter ended in March. By end of March, Parliament had approved that of 2021 full year. So when it comes to expenditure and when it comes to revenue and expenditure, there was no gap in this country. We budgeted 27 billion Ghana cedis from beginning of January to March, and then we came up with that one that said we're going to spend about 111 billion Ghana cedis in the whole year. So the monies were there.
But in a transition period, you need to, regardless of that, you need to understand that we had teething problems. We are not going to shy away from it. We're not going to shy away from it. I'm not here to shy away from it because it's a problem we must embrace.
Okay.
And we are here to embrace that problem. We had teething problems in the transition period. And that is not the norm for how we have operated. You can all attest to it that that's not the norm. So in the transition, we embrace it fully. That in this transition period, we had some challenges.
What were the challenges?
We had challenges in terms of even approvals of funds to get to the schools. But as I speak to you now, CHAS has received all of their monies for Form 2s and 3s. They have not received for Form 1s, which is one of the things the headmaster talked about.
Yes.
Every year, when you reopen school in a free SHS dispensation, you have to do head counts of the children in the school. CHAS is very much aware of this. On May 11th, we had a meeting with CHAS, and they themselves confirmed that there are officers in their schools confirming the numbers that has been reported. Until the head count is done, what is your basis for sending? If an auditor comes to you and say, why did you send 200,000 to Mauli. On what basis? What are you going to tell the auditor? There are administrative processes. So and that is why we send them enough money, because the money we send to them is only the 30%. Too.
Yes.
The non-perishables go. And so if an auditor comes to you, what is your basis for sending this money until you have it? That's why we have sent the 100% now of the Form 2s and 3s who we know and can account for. The Form 1s went to school March 18th.
Okay, so
right. So I think that addresses that question.
Instead of talking about the food, I mean, the non-perishables.
Yes.
Is another area where headmasters have had concerns.
They were at the table.
They were at the table, but they've had concerns with supply of these non-perishables, and because they reach out sometimes to the buffer food company, and there are delays in the supplies. I can show you right now conversations on CHAS platforms where they are complaining and they are indicating that we've sent this to the regional manager, and in the Eastern region, for instance, Moses, who is the regional manager, they keep complaining that we need, I mean, some of the headmasters actually go as far as giving you number of bags they need, and they delay and have to make pleas to the students to understand their plight and that there'll be food shortly.
Okay. For the benefit of time, let me at least run through this so that we can continue. But yes, again, Ghana Education Service, we are not denying those delays. But there has not been any instance, even in this dispensation, that we can say in a school that children were not fed 3 times.
That is the quantity. They've raised concerns about the quantity. For instance, when you started, you were giving every table, you gave them 4 sardines. Tins of sardine for every table. Now you're giving them 2.
I am not the manager of schools in those physical schools. There are headmasters.
Yeah, but these are things that have been supplied to them.
But the thing is that if it's been supplied to them, why are they not giving it to the children?
They are giving it to the children, and based on the supplies they have to give to the children. They have to go for 2 on a table instead of the previous 4 on a table.
So are you trying to suggest that the headmasters are stealing?
No.
Okay, then
it is
whatever
based
has
on
been
what
supplied,
you have given them.
No, whatever has been supplied to them has
has
never changed.
Do you have evidence that the headmasters are stealing?
No, I don't have evidence that the headmasters, and there is no evidence that headmasters.
And they say this is what you have given them. They've mentioned it.
But the whole thing is that headmasters, and that was the next question I was going to go to. That committee that I talked about, it includes CHAS. The CHAS regional chairman for Greater Accra represents CHAS on that particular food committee. So if there is a problem, trust me, our headmasters, they will raise issues with that. Let me quickly run through some of them.
But before we do
that, we need to take a break. Yes. It's the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. We're talking to Dr. Kwabena Bempatando. He's the Deputy Director General for Quality and Access at the Ghana Education Service. And of course, we're talking about free SHS. More after these.
Babe, so what are we doing tomorrow?
Oh, I have to go to the bank and go and pay for the stuff for my place. Then maybe back to the bank to transfer what's left to my brother. So
are you serious? You're going to the bank twice in one day? Who is she? Which bank? Which branch?
Oh, babe, but...
Oh, don't babe me. What's her name? Tell her what.
It's a new day. Make your life easy with CowBank mobile banking. Just dial *771# and just like that, your life is easy. Transfer money from your CowBank account to any other account. Do mobile money and other payments right from your bank account on your phone, anytime, anywhere. No internet, no charges. It's just that easy. *771#. Banking is easy with CowBank.
CowBank, forward together.
CowBank, forward together.
Come here,
Charlie, right now, dear, the printing business slow. Power problems every day. I'm not able to meet client demand, and it's a big worry.
Charlie.
But Charlie, you actually bought that heavy generator as a backup power. Business is good for you.
Thank you, bro, but I didn't buy it. I rented it.
Sir, away.
From the Generator Express, of course, Anointed Electrical Engineering Services has added rentals to their wonderful services.
So you mean, apart from the sale of quality generators and spare parts with their impeccable 24/7 after sales maintenance and services, they also do rentals?
Exacto, man. Anointed has a wide range of generators from 5 to 1,000 kVA ready for rentals, my bro.
I see. They are still at number 77 Anointed House off the Odokomalam Road in Accra, right?
And in Kumasi, Anointed is in the City Style building in Amakum near SHS. And all Anointed branches across the country are still operating. Call their hotline 0243 480 334. Anointed Electrical Engineering Services. Still the generator experts.
We didn't come here to
Coffee in your cup and Joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
If you put your body on me, I put my money on you. I put the dollar on you, girl. If you put your body on me, then I put my money on you. I put my dollar on you, girl. Oh, girl, you looking so amazing. For you, I think I'm going crazy. Oh, girl, your body's so amazing. And I don't wanna leave your side. If you put your body on me, I put my money on you. I put the dollar on you, girl. If you put your body on
Joy
me,
99.7 FM.
I put the dollar on you, girl. I gon' make you see that, oh, Jola, 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 eh, oh, Jola. I gon' make you see that, oh, Jola, 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 oh, Jola, eh. Super Morning Show.
Good morning and you're welcome to the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you. Loans to facilitate the establishment of the National Development Bank will not be paid by Ghanaians but by the institution itself. Director of Financial Sector Division at the Finance Ministry, Samson Agliko, has disclosed this on PM Express Business Edition. Food prices could remain stable in the next 3 years, that is if government adopts the food policy and warehouse procedure manual. That's the projection coming from a senior lecturer at the Department of Agricultural Economics at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. And shareholders of GCB are to enjoy a 25% increase in dividend for the bank's operations in 2020. This follows what the bank describes as stellar financial performance for 2020. We saw it post a profit of 445 million Ghana cedis. And that's all for the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you.
Have you heard? Have you heard? Malcolm never ceases to amaze us. This time, it is the power of 300 Ghana cedis promo.
The power of 300 Ghana cedis promo?
Oh yes, it is new from the quarters of Malcolm. Now, just make a purchase on any single item worth 300 Ghana cedis and above and enjoy 10% discount instantly.
Instantly?
Yes, instantly.
This is really cool and amazing.
Yeah, hurry now to be part of this 300 Ghana cedis promo. This offer is available at all Malcolm shops nationwide. Terms and conditions apply.
Malcolm, where Ghana shops.
The cousin that holds all the food.
Jerusalem,
Joy 99.7 FM. Coffee in your cup and Joy on the set. The Super
Joy 99.7 FM, and we're having that all-important conversation about free SHS. Today, the Ghana Education Service takes their turn on the show, and as the show evolves, we start to see that there's got to be a need for even more time so we can deal with all of the issues that have been raised, and we will make more time for that. Right now, though, a big thank you to Consolidated Bank Ghana, CBG. We stand with you for bringing us the Joy Business Minute.
And CBG, your most trusted bank, is standing with you, and so all our branches are opened and poised to serve you as we enforce all safety directives for both our staff and you, our cherished customers. Walk into any of our branches and experience first-class customer service, or you may alternatively use our ATMs and electronic platforms, including our SSD star 924 hash, get digi with it, to conveniently perform banking transactions anywhere and at any time. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at CBG Bank Limited. For enquiries, call 0302-216-000. CBG, we stand with you.
Right. Now, are you worried about the coronavirus? Who isn't? Anyway, our friends at Absa Bank say they care about your safety. Use the Absa digital channels for your safe and convenient banking. Make instant money transfers, mobile money transfers, pay bills, buy airtime, make ATM cash deposits, make payments with your Absa Vertical card. Absa cares about you, so please remember to sanitize your hands before and after the use of any e-banking device. That is Africanacity. That is Absa.
So let me tell you about 8888. I like that.
4.8.
Yes, because Adansi Travels is inviting you for once in a lifetime experience to travel with a rock star Kwame Eugene, Africa #1, to Dubai for an unforgettable holiday. Why is Aaron?
I don't know why he's so excited.
Why is he doing that? So starting August 8th, that's 8/8. You have the opportunity to join our stress-free trip to Dubai for 8 full days. 8. To celebrate our 8th anniversary with you, we have hugely discounted this Power of 8 package to only 8,000 per person.
Hey.
Yes.
That's 88888.
And there's more to come.
Hey.
You don't need to worry about your visa, hotel, or flight, as all is covered in this cost. Just make a small deposit of 800 Ghana cedis, and Team Adanse will make your Dubai dream a reality. And our free COVID-19 safety kits and COVID-19 travel insurance ensures you make this trip safely with peace of mind. Visit AdanseTravels.com for package details and booking. Call us on 0595 500-817 or 0556-310-404 to book. Don't miss this opportunity to enjoy Dubai with Kwame Eugene. I will be there.
Can I go for free if my name is Awache?
No.
So that you choose Awache by force. I have an uncle called Awache.
Yeah.
So I'll pretend that I belong to the Awache family. Anyway, but I will be there.
Oh, you're going, eh?
Yes, I'm going. I
Fantastic.
want to go.
Lovely.
Okay.
So, in the interest of AIDS, I think that I know that I have to dash out of here at 8:30.
Yes.
And so I would make my next submissions. I think we've only agreed that I will do 2 other critical ones, and then we'll continue
on
Monday.
Yeah.
And so I would leave 8 minutes for students to ask questions.
Students to ask questions, no problem.
And then you also give us 8 for cost.
So, 2 other critical issues that I want to tackle. One is again from parents. The parents' issues, the parents who called in, their issues were very pertinent. And then I would tackle an issue from a student who called. I would also tackle that issue because student issues should be near and dear to our hearts. So the parents who called said that they have concerns about their children being in congested dormitories and thus they sleep on the floors. One of the things I would like to say is that once we know genuine issues in schools, particular schools, we have 722 schools. Now, if I am to know which school, then I'm better able to laser sharp address those particular issues in those schools. I'll give you quick examples of why. We had an issue with Frafaha furniture.
Okay.
As soon as the headmistress came, the minister authorized emergency furniture, and in a matter of 24 hours, they received. Boko SHS, we had an issue of furniture. In a matter of 3 days, we were able to send some emergency furniture. Owas, Opokuwari, and I won't talk too much about them because I went to Prempeh College, but they needed furniture. And we were able to quickly dispatch them. And as I speak to you now, the ministry is working through the Ghana Education Service that we are sending our planning and infrastructure team out there to ascertain where especially furniture is needed, not just classroom furniture, but also dormitory furniture. So I would beg of you.
I think he actually mentioned the school in this case. He talked about the fact that his son is at Bishop Herman College.
Hey, your own school. No, sorry, Mauli. Hey,
Yes.
I have made a mistake.
Yes. When you say that to a Maulian, it's just like saying that to you. Talking to you about
Owas boys.
But
this one day, I'll beg you.
No worry. So that's also
so Bishop Herman.
Yes, he talked about.
I am taking notes, but I also have an officer here who will take notes, and I will do well to report next time I'm in the studio. We are discussing it Monday. I'll do well to at least report to you what actions we have taken. On that particular issue. I think that helps us. But I just want to give us some quick analysis of that issue. There are 8 schools, but I would only do 5. There are 8 for the 8, but but I'll do just about 5 or so. Just so you understand the efforts we have taken to decongest our schools. If you take Agri Memorial, for example, the Form 3s who left were 633. This year, we admitted 1,036 students. So the question is, how are you going to fit them in? But they are running double track for Form 1s. These are some of the schools that we decided to run double track for Form 1 for congestion issues. So now that they are doing 1,036, half of them is 518, a good 150 lower than the Form 3s who left to decongest. If you take Koforidua Secondary Technical, 818 students left. We even only admitted 712, and they are still running double track. So only 336. Laboni, right here in Accra. Let's look at Laboni right here in Accra. The 878 students left. We admitted 1,363, but they are running double track. So it's only 682 as opposed to the 878 who left. So we actually make concerted efforts. I would say that there are 722 schools, and we may make certain we may overlook certain things, but as soon as it's brought to our attention, we will quickly go to the drawing table and see how we can make it happen.
So these are 8 schools that you had here.
I just wanted to use those as I added my own school, Prempeh College.
Yeah,
you know?
but I'm assuming these are not the only 8 schools where you've done something about.
If I had brought my laptop, I would have opened it to you for you to see the analysis.
I also see.
If we keep interrupting, it will be difficult for me to give you time.
I'm sorry, it's important for us to clarify a couple of things.
Yes, because I see that your ministry is procuring 90,000 monodesks.
So it's out already. I wasn't even aware that.
And 28,000 bank beds.
Yes.
Almost ready.
Yes.
Is that not an indication that you know of these challenges?
Well, just like our person who called in as a student, Rama, when Rama called in, she talked about chairs that were squiggly. So, like I was saying, from time to time, we send our planning and infrastructure team out to do assessments. Which furniture can be repaired, which ones cannot be repaired and must be replaced. When you do those assessments, it's not as though one desk is missing. Director General signs a check for one desk. So once we do these assessments, you would notice, if you look at the history of the ministry's procurement, you would notice that just about every year or two, we do significant purchases of furniture because of either increase in student numbers, new classrooms coming on board. Some of these are not just because of old furniture, but we have new classrooms that are coming online, new dormitories that are coming online. They must be furnished.
Let's move on, because I have another issue from Alavanyo Senior High School, friends, which they were requesting furniture, but I'll share that with you.
You've sent it to me.
I would share that with you.
Yes, please. So then let me, so what we were saying is that, just like you are helping me now, once we know the particular schools and the particular issues, we will respond. That is our job. We are to ensure that we provide our schools the necessary support, that the headmasters are able to focus on learning outcomes. And so once we know, and what I would also ask, I know I have lots of teachers and headmasters listening. They are teachers, they are headmasters, they are also parents. But now I would appeal to our staff at the Ghana Education Service, 350,000 of them. We have processes for how we deal, just like here in Joy. if you have Joy News, Joy FM, sorry. If you have a challenge here, you are not going to go and sit on peace and say that our screen is broken. You would go through the Joy process. You won't go and apply through peace and the peace process to address a Joy issue. So I'm going to plead with our heads and our teachers. Let's use our processes. We have one Director General, Professor Kwesi Opoku-Amankwa. He is superintending over 350,000 staff. And then we are superintending over 8.1 million children in our schools. We are superintending over 38,000 plus basic schools and 722 senior high and technical schools. And so the Director General has put in place competent, innovative heads, assistant heads, regional directors, and such. Let me be quick. The last thing I want to add, and then we'll listen, is my, and this has to do with concerns for our dear students. Unavailability of textbooks, and thus having to buy their own textbooks. Chinamanda Ngozi is the person who said that begin the story of Africa with bad states, and you have a different story of Africa than to begin the story of Africa with bad colonial establishments of the African states. So where you begin the story gives some clarity. So just a bit of historical understanding. Until 2017, government has never given any single student in senior high schools textbooks because they're fee paying.
I had textbooks.
No, but your parents paid for it.
Oh, well. No, I gave it back because after when I was leaving,
your parents paid for it.
I gave it back to the school.
Yeah, you donated them.
Well,
because you paid for it.
Okay.
The last time we even, as a country, gave textbooks in the basic schools was 2005. It is now that we are working to make sure textbooks go back into our schools. So until 2017, senior high school, everybody was paying out of their pocket. Everybody was going to the market to buy their books. They were buying their pens, their uniforms, their shoes, and everything. Now, since 2017, we have provided core textbooks 1-to-1 for every single student who has passed through. Over the past 4 years, over 1.6 million students who have benefited have received their English textbook, their mathematics textbook, their social studies textbook, and their integrated science textbook. We have also provided in all 722 of our schools in their libraries portions and quantities of elective textbooks. Why do we do that? I don't know the number of students who are going to be in Mauli who will be doing business accounting or cost accounting. So we do, for those that were not even promised as part of this, we provide a certain quantity in our libraries. And we can check from the closest school around here to see that not only are the core textbooks given, but quantities of all of the elective subjects taught in that particular school are also delivered. Apart from that, let's go ahead and even talk about art and art paper. We have provided all of those. As I speak to you now, we are distributing science lab equipment to over 180 of our schools that are deficient in lab equipment and chemicals. So I was a bit perplexed about that particular question, and I felt I wanted to.
These textbooks that you give to the students, do they return them to the schools?
At the end of their 3 years, they return them to the school.
So for those who who have gone to Form 1, have they been giving these core textbooks?
Yes. I think that even the young lady who called and said her name is Rama said that they have their textbooks, they have their uniforms, they were given 2 sets of uniforms. Somebody sent me that, actually you put it online.
Yes.
So somebody sent me the link online, and she did talk about the fact that these things were given to them.
Okay, but there's been other concerns that some of them do not have textbooks.
That's what I'm saying is perplexing.
So as far as the Ghana Education Service is aware, there shouldn't be any student who doesn't have textbooks.
Core textbooks. See, let's distinguish, because we have always said in the free senior high school that the subject that is peculiar, or the subject that is common to every student in senior high or technical institutions is the English, mathematics, social studies, and integrated science. And in these 4 subject areas, since 2017, we have made sure that into the hands of every child, they have received a copy of their core textbooks. Into the hands of every single child. And we have gone further to provide quantities of their elective books that are taught in those particular schools. And this is a matter of verification that we can
I was just going to say that.
In any of our schools.
Thankfully, we can look it up.
Yes,
we can verify.
it's a matter of verification. And on top of that, we have even provided other things in our schools as part of the academic support. And 3 minutes. Quickly, we have all of these things that we have done. All of these things that we have done, scientifically and in terms of the empirical evidence, are inputs that we are putting in to get the outcomes that we are looking for. And for the first time, a student, regardless of whether they came from my hometown of Goso or that village on the other side, even my hometown, Goso, no, people don't know, but there's a village called Esumura. To get to Esumura, you must leave Goso and travel by road for another 2 hours to get to Esumura. And even for that child in Esumura, for the first time, they have access to textbooks. And that child in Esumura, unlike my child, and Winston's child or Kojo's child, we may be fortunate. But that child now doesn't have to sit in a classroom and worry about paying school fees, at least not being chased for not paying school fees. We have provided every child in senior high school peace of mind, not to be chased out of that classroom with school fees. We admit and we understand that it is not a perfect system. We don't have a perfect system. Even in the GISs of Ghana, they don't have a perfect system. But we are not going to say that despite of that, we have children who are thriving. In spite of those things, we have children who are thriving.
Okay, all right. If you're listening, we're talking to Dr. Abeka Tando. He's the Deputy Director General of the Ghana Education Service. He's here so that we can talk about free SHS. And it's time for you to join the conversation. So perhaps you have questions, give us a call. Got a few minutes to take a few calls before Dr. Tando leaves us. The number's 0302 216-541, 055 1111 so we'll take a few calls. Winston, you've got some tweets, haven't you?
And so at Aruk Jose, he says, please let Dr. Tando know that parents are not just fighting for contact hours. Parents just want the awards to be in school for a very long time, which the previous calendar was providing. It is a common fact that when you are in school, you can learn more. And at DJ Abidem says, before the implementation, it was obvious funding and late disbursement would be the major issue with the policy. I believe government needs to take care of that burden by instituting a dedicated free SHS tax administered by a board with sanctions to authorities for late disbursements.
All right, we'll take a few more tweets later. Right now, though, Michael is on the line from Jamestown. Michael, good morning.
Good morning, Winston.
It's Kojo. Thanks for calling us, Michael.
Kojo, okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, please, I want to say something, contribute to what the discussion. Yes, myself, I'm a teacher. And our great concern is that it's not about the content hours. The content hours, we have a problem with it. You see, for a day school, a child will come to school at 8 o'clock and leave school at 5. Sometimes the children are tired. They are very tired of being in the classroom. You see, teaching is a such a way that you have to teach for the child to learn. But if the child spends all the time teaching without the child having time to learn, a child who goes to school at Mungwa and stays in Kaswa, what time will the child close at 5? And what time will the child close, go home? And what time will the child learn and come back to the next day? So you see that when you teach, you go to class, example like math. You teach, fine. You ask them the next day what you taught the previous day, and they can't even recall it. Secondly, before the child comes to essence, the child needs to have some fundamentals. Now, they are doing what we call wholesale. Everybody's going. So whether the child has got the fundamentals or not, the child is there.
Okay.
And you see, SS is in such a way that it is kind of building on what is being taught in GS.
Michael.
Let another person.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Michael,
yes.
Briefly wrap up, so we need to pick another caller.
You see, when we talk about the first class school, fine, forget about the first class school. Talk about the second class school and the third class school. That is where the problem is. Then also, you were talking about textbooks.
No, Michael, thank you very much. I think we're going to have to take some more calls. I'm so sorry, but we have very limited time. Nick Bakpo is in Kwashiman. Good morning, Nick Bakpo.
Gongfu, good morning.
Gongfuni.
How
What's
are
your
you doing?
question?
I don't have much to say. This morning, I just want to applaud my favorite station, Joy FM, for the new the policy direction of bringing the technocrats and not the politicians to come and wax lyrical and play politics with such issues. And I'm very happy, and I want to encourage you. This is what some of us have yearned for you to bring the technocrats and sideline or minimize the use of the politicians who, in the name of politics, they come and propound on truths and all that. I just want to say good morning.
Thank
and
you.
Well
God
done.
bless you for calling us. Israel is in Tema. Israel, good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, what's on your mind?
I want to ask the director about the textbook in the school. In average, how many textbooks being sent to each of every school in average? Because a school like, example, Awudoma Secondary School in Ho, a class or let's say this is general arts class alone, the students are so many in such a way that they divide the class into 11 or 13 classes. But according to the students all have textbook to read. Only small they put it at the library. So it's a burden on the student, on the parents to buy all what they need.
Thank you.
So when he's talking about the
Israel
textbook,
for joining us. Thank you very much, Israel. So we'll get Dr. Tando to address these questions that have come. Michael,
we'll make a new date.
Yes. Michael raising concerns about contact hours, and Israel talking about the textbooks. How many are sent to the schools?
Well, it's Michael. I understand that you're a teacher, and I appreciate that. And I know that when you and I were both in teacher education and training, we do know that there is a high correlation between contact hours and quality contact hours and outcomes. I will understand your issue, and I do appreciate your issue that we do have certain day students who may travel long distances to get to school, and then they would also travel long distances to get home. And that is why, as the managers of the school, you know the peculiar situations in your school, and so you are able to organize yourselves in such ways that you're able to address those issues. Those are the things that, Michael, you and I were taught in teacher education. We were taught to learn to differentiate in our classrooms. We were taught to address challenges differently for different students. We were taught not to do wholesale teaching. And that is why the Director General of Ghana Education Service had confidence to put you in that classroom, and to put me in a classroom, and to put all of our colleagues in classrooms, because he knows that we have the skills, we have the competencies to apply the right pedagogical strategies for the number and varied students that we do have. Nee mentioned, I can't even remember Nee's issue.
He was happy that
the
technocrats are here to address. And then Israel has
Israel had an issue of textbook. And I think that Winston and I, we locked eyes. Maybe Israel, I think you didn't hear my submissions around the fact that for core textbooks, Israel, I can tell you on authority that it is 1-to-1. So you mentioned Audome SHS in Volta region. We'll go and check. But and just like you said, they don't bring enough of the textbooks for them, and so it has to be put in the library. And I did make that submission. For the elective textbooks, we do take quantities to the libraries. And again, we have competent managers of our schools who know how to manage even the library process, the borrowing process, and such, to make sure that the students will have. We'll make a new date. And
So Monday will continue.
Dr. Tando will be back on Monday. And when he comes back, even the issues that you may raise after he leaves, he will have the opportunity to address them as well. We'll spend more time on that. But in summary,
thank you, students. It's been a good lesson.
In summary, Dr. Tando has told us that yes, indeed, if you calculate it, children are home a little longer, but they have more contact hours. Also, yes, there's been only one exam for a certain year group, but that's because of COVID-19. Also, yes, there are extra classes, but that's normal. And in fact, let's take advantage of that to teach our children other things like robotics and skills like that.
And add that we are actually doing extra classes in the schools paid for by government.
Ah, there we go. Yes, the food is not great, but there's a reason for that. There were some budget difficulties, approvals and so forth were delayed. Yes, there's congestion, but they're dealing with it. There are at least 8 examples of that he has shared with us. And, well, he said no student should lack core textbooks, but one caller is raising a question about that. So I suppose that's the summary so far of what Dr. Tando has been able to share with us. That apart from the textbooks, yes, what you have raised are valid issues, but there are solutions.
But I'll quickly add that those issues, like I said from the beginning, they have been with us from time immemorial. And I think we need to decouple it from free SHS. We need to be sincere and decouple those issues that has plagued us. We are addressing them, but those issues need to be decoupled from. Well, let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. The policy is not the reason for these issues, because even when you and I were in school, we had demonstrations over these things, right? So they are issues that have been with us, and we, Ghana Education Service, what we are saying with the leadership of Professor Kwesi Opoku-Amankwah is that we will embrace them and we will address them, right? And then the next set of leadership of Ghana Education Service will continue to embrace and address these issues. That's what we will do.
Dr. Abekatano, Deputy Director General. Yes, Dr. Tano returns on Monday.
Thank you.
On the Super Morning Show. Stay with us. We'll take some messages. We're back after these.